Tonight on Sports Desk, let the madness begin. March is upon us and our Hurricane Hangtime crew previews next week's ACC tournament.
Plus, learn how one long-distance runner went from the mat to the track.
And later on, hear about the play that is changing the script in more ways than one.
All that and more?
Sports Desk starts
right now.
I'm Ed Reed, and you're watching Sports Desk.
Hi, I'm Jim Kelly, former UAM guy. You're watching Sports Desk.
What's up? I'm DJ Williams, and y'all watching Sports Desk.
Good evening and welcome to the 4th episode of the Sports Desk Spring 2024 semester. I'm Michael Muela.
And I'm Olivia Howell. Thank you for joining us. Mike, the baseball season gets real tonight as the Canes welcome in the Florida State Gators.
That's right, Liv, but you're absolutely right. But last night, the Canes women's hoop squad picked up some extra season momentum looking to welcome Pitt last night. The Lady Canes looked to gain some extra momentum last night when they welcomed the Pittsburgh Panthers into the Watsco Center. Let's see those highlights. Here we go, halfway through the first quarter now. Canes up by 2. Here's a steal by Jada Patrick. Goes all the way to the hoop, scoops it in. Canes will go up by 4, excuse me. Canes up 6 now, second quarter. Here's Lachey Dwyer on the steal. Stop, pop, banks it in, off the window. Canes up 18-10. Midway through the second quarter now. Canes up by 12. Dwyer, oh, what a move. Puts up a 3 and buries it. Canes up by 15 at the half. Here we go, second half now. Canes up 12. Patrick to Roberts. Ooh, a nice feed and a nice bucket inside. Later on in the third quarter, Canes up by 15 again. Dwyer tried to get it out, but it's stolen by King, and she goes all the way coast to coast for 2. Pitt trying to fight back in this game, but they never look back. Miami, it's Dwyer again. Open 3, cans it. Miami would never trail in this game. Here's Lachey Dwyer again on the receiving end of a steal. Canes never trail in this one. They hang on to win it 62-44. Miami now 8-9 in the ACC.
It's finally March, and as the regular season winds down, our Hurricane Hangtime crew is in studio to break down the last few games of the season. Guys?
Welcome back to Hurricane Hangtime. I'm your host, Shane McDonald, joined by Manny Nacarado and Taryn Jacobs. And let's get right into it. Manny, 7 straight losses now for the men after a crushing loss against UNC for the second time. What went wrong?
That's right, Shay. This is the 7th loss in Miami's losing streak, and it was much like the last time Miami played UNC at home earlier this season. It was close all the way up until the finish, but Miami just couldn't find a way to get it done. But big performance out of Bensley Joseph with a career high of 21 points, and Norchad being the definition of consistency, scoring 22 points, and has been the highlight of this team all season. But the man that put it all together for UNC was R.J. Davis, coming away with 42 points. And if you let a difference maker like him get that hot in a game, that's a recipe for disaster for the Hurricanes.
Absolutely. Their season's wrapping up, and we're getting closer to tournament time for the Canes. Looking forward to that. They're sitting at the 13th seed. What can they do to try and move through the tournament?
Well, Shay, I'd like Miami to get these last 2 wins in the regular season and focus on the ACC tournament and the regular season on a positive note, and they have the power to do that. Miami shot way better in the game against UNC than they have all season, shooting 47% from 3, which is a huge step up from their last couple of games. And if Miami wants to get these last 2 wins, that needs to keep consistent, and Bensley Joseph and Norchad are going to have to carry the ship while Nigel Pack is still out in injury.
Definitely want to see them end the season strong. Moving over to the women, they're ending the season strong. Back-to-back wins after their 3-game losing streak. Taryn, what's been going right for them?
Yeah, Shay, well, after a 3-game losing streak, the Canes finally picked up back-to-back wins against Clemson and Pittsburgh. And a big reason for these wins was because of Jasmine Roberts, who finally showed her true potential. In the game earlier this week against Clemson, she tied her career high points with 26 points, going 11 for 15 from the field, and also adding 6 rebounds to her name as well. And against Pittsburgh, just last night, she scored 17 points, 7 and 9 from the field, and also had 3 boards there as well. And she wasn't the only player who was really making a difference on the court. Players like Jada Patrick and Lachey Dwyer really showed out in these games as well.
Absolutely going to need them moving towards the end of the season. Taryn, they're currently sitting at the 9th seed in the ACC moving into the tournament. What do you want to see from them when they go into it?
Yeah, Shay. Well, one thing I really want to see from them is what I saw this week, a strong team defense. They were able to hold Clemson to 50 points and Pittsburgh to 44 points, which is the least amount of points allowed in the ACC so far this season. If they can keep their defense strong and effective and limit their opposition's scoring chances, they have a chance to make it far in the ACC tournament.
Absolutely. It's finally March. Big time shots, big time players, big time games. Fortunately, that's all the time we have for you today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, guys. Following last night's win, Tatenda Mukarejija sat down with Canes women's hoop star Jada Patrick on this week's edition of Athlete of the Week. Tatenda?
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Athlete of the Week. I'm your host, Tatenda Mukarejija, and today I'm joined by Jada Patrick from the women's basketball team. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
I would love to know, where did you grow up and what was it like growing up there?
So I grew up in a small town in Rockland County called West Haverstraw. It was really nice. It was very diverse. So I got to experience a lot of cultures, and I really had a community that supported me. So it was nice growing up there.
Wow. What was it like holding a basketball for the first time?
Interesting. I didn't want to play basketball at first, so that was kind of a weird feeling. But when I first started, I found out that I was pretty good at it, and it was fun. And I was playing with my brother, and my dad was coaching me, so it was a nice experience.
Wow. What motivates you?
Definitely my family, and also just inspiring young girls that look like me. I think that's something that I want to do in every step of the way and throughout my entire life. So it's always nice having young girls come up to me after the game and smile and fangirl after me, even though I'm like, guys, I'm a normal person, but yeah, it's nice.
Wow. What's your favorite thing about being a Hurricane?
My teammates. There's a lot of different personalities, a lot of strong personalities, but they're nice, and I love them. They're like my sisters.
Wow. What's your pre-game ritual?
Taking a nap.
Taking a nap?
There's no food. I know a lot of people eat a certain thing or, I don't know, have weird sock things, but no, mine is literally just taking a nap.
Wow. What advice would you have for someone who aspires to be like you when they grow up?
And definitely keep going. Just put in the work, and don't let anyone tell you that you can't do anything, because you can do anything that you put your mind to, and anything in this world is able to be grabbed. So definitely keep going.
And I know you're a grad student. What are your plans after graduation?
I definitely want to do something in media, maybe some type of media hosting or something like that, but stay tuned. I don't really know yet.
Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Remember to be good, and if you can be good, be safe. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Tatenda. Coming up on Sports Desk, Annie Watson takes us to Mark Light Field for the action between the Canes and the Gators. So don't go anywhere.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains.
There's no sparks.
But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hurricanes baseball has their biggest series of the year this weekend. The Florida Gators are in town in an in-state clash at the Light. Andrew Klein and Mia Hausman are in studio to break it all down. Guys?
I'm your host, Mia Hausman, alongside analyst Andrew Klein. Andrew, a lot has happened since last week, and there's a lot on the horizon for this Miami team versus Florida this weekend. What do the Canes need to know about UF?
Well, Mia, this is as good of a team as Miami's going to play all year. Florida came into the year in the top 5 in the country. They went to the College World Series a year ago, and now they're trying to build off that. Of course, they're led by Jack Caglianone, the left-handed pitcher and the first baseman. This guy is a phenomenal hitter, one of the best in the country, led the nation in homers a year ago. You can see the numbers on your screen. He's off to another phenomenal start. Now, behind him, they've got guys like Colby Shelton, who's hitting really well to start the year as well. 370, the 3 home runs, the very high OPS. There are a number of players in this UF lineup just like that. And of course, one more, Tyler Shelnut. He's been great to start the year, the infielder slash outfielder, 345 and 3 home runs. And this team for UF has an OPS over 1 as a unit. That's absolutely unheard of in the pros and in college.
Wow. Well, the Canes have Daniel Cuvée, who delivered big time against LIU last week. Talk me through his success.
Well, Mia, there's a reason I'm wearing the dog tie today, and that's because Daniel Cuvée is an absolute dog. He's been Miami's best player all year long. You could take a look at the numbers for yourself. He leads Miami in a handful of categories. 8-game hitting streak to open up his Hurricane career. 6 of those games he's had multiple hits. This guy is off the charts to start the year. He's tied for the team lead in home runs. On Wednesday against FGCU, he went 2 for 4, and his batting average went down. Again, unheard of from Daniel Cuvée. Dorian Gonzalez, the team's captain, said he's got such good composure and his approach never changes. He never falters in the biggest moments.
Well, as the Canes look forward to this series versus UF, what do they need to do to come out on top?
Well, look, it's going to be a daunting series for Miami. This is as good of a team as they'll play all year, but it starts with the starting pitching. They were good last week. 19 innings of work for the starters, 5 runs, 3 of them were earned. Those are good numbers against LIU. In Miami, took 2 out of 3. Number 2 for the Hurricanes, you got to have timely hitting. They missed in opportunities against LIU last week with runners in scoring position. They did the same thing on Wednesday against FGCU in the 12th inning. So Miami's got to get those opportunities to go their way. And finally, you got to get that home crowd rocking. It's the biggest series of the year. It's time to light up the light.
All right, well, we'll see if the Canes can score big this weekend, but that's all the time we have. Back to you guys.
Thanks, guys. The Canes opened their 3rd weekend series of the season right now, welcoming the 4th-ranked Florida Gators to town. Our lead reporter, Annie Watson, is live at Mark Light Field right now with an update on this Sunshine State rivalry. Annie, what can you tell us about the weekend?
Thanks, Olivia. Tonight is the first of a 3-game series versus the 4th-ranked Florida Gators, and this is not the first time these two teams have matched up. They've been meeting since 1950, and tonight is the 258th all-time meeting. Miami is 130, 127 and 1 all-time, and they have 4 series wins versus UF since 2005. Despite all of this, Miami and UF both had midweek losses. UF lost at Stetson on Tuesday, and Miami lost in extra innings versus FGCU. So both the Canes and the Gators will be stepping up to the plate with a vengeance. Reporting live from Mark Light Field, I'm Annie Watson. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Annie. Now, don't be a social media jabroni, because the most electrifying man on TV is here with all the fixins on all things Canes social media on this week's edition of Behind the Post. Take it away, Niles.
It has come to my attention that once again I have reached the peak of my week. I mean, I have made it to see heaven's gaze after another horrendous 7 days. But that means it's time for the most electrifying segment on TV with me, Niles Nassim, your host with the most. So when you see me on screen, it's time to go behind the post. All gold, everything. I mean, while this season for football and basketball has been more tragic than the Atlanta Falcons' loss in the Super Bowl 7 years ago, it's been all uphill for track and field. That's right, congratulations are in order to the track team for bringing multiple gold in multiple events. The women took the 4x400 in the ACC Championship, and standout Edgar Compre took the gold in the heptathlon. The sky is the limit for this team, and we can't wait to see what they do in nationals. And batter up. After coming off of a tough loss to Florida Gulf Coast, they, and I mean the Canes, will be looking to execute from pillar to post as we begin a big series against UF. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to be an Avengers level hater for the Gators. The first of this 3-game series is going on right now, and it's a green out, so you better be seen out, because green koozies will be given away to the first 300 fans, so get those bodies in the stands. We will see you at Mark Light after tonight's show. And Canes serve the community, and we at SportsDesk love to see it. Listen, the fact of the matter is that the Canes, Miami finished 2nd nationally in the NCAA Service Challenge. Miami had 100% student-athlete participation in at least one community service event this year. You can't spell community without the U, and that's why we do what we do. Thank you all for your continued commitment to the cause. We salute you. And finally, it's that time of year again. It's combine season, and I think the new Canes and the current Canes have a special message for their teammates who will be participating.
Good luck to y'all.
Good luck to my boy Cam.
You know, I came in with y'all. Now y'all boys up out of here.
My
Proud
boy.
of y'all for real.
Y'all boys do that, because y'all boys can do it.
Y'all LT, y'all boy, good luck. Go crazy. Okay.
Good luck to all the athletes that are taking part. I know you'll do sensational. But that's all the time I have for you today. You know what to do. Be blessed. Don't stress, because you know where to find me right here on Sports Desk. Up now, let's see.
Thank you, Niles. Up next on Sports Desk, reporter Jaden Cohey went to Miami Gardens for a special event. We'll tell you more after the break when Sports Desk returns. But first, it's time for some trivia. With the ACC tournament quickly approaching, when was the last time the Canes Hoops won the conference title? Is it A, 2022, B, 2017, C, 2012, or D, 2007? Stay tuned to find out when Sports Desk returns.
So I just saw Cam Kitchens run his 40 time at the combine, and I gotta ask you two what you guys think you would run.
What do you think, Mike?
I'd say I'd run a 4.5. Shay?
A little 4.7, 4.7.
Oh, I don't know.
Is it time yet?
It's time.
I'm starting time for dinner.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Thanks for sticking with us. If you guessed C, you're correct. In Coach L's second season at Miami, the Canes went 29-7, winning the ACC regular season and conference tournament. However, the Canes would fall in the Sweet 16. Every year, the Miami Dolphins hold the largest fundraiser in the NFL. Dolphins Challenge Cancer in order to raise money for the University of Miami Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. Reporter Jaden Cohey had the honor of attending this event and seeing the impact that it has.
Most people who've had to deal with a cancer diagnosis recognize that sound. Ringing a bell symbolizes the end of a grueling cancer treatment and the hope of healthier times to come.
In 2022, I was diagnosed with stage 2 vocal cord cancer, and I went to University of Miami Sylvester Center, and I had like 3 surgeries, and they completely removed it.
Jason is just one of more than 7,000 people who participated in the 14th annual event, which takes place every February at the home of the Miami Dolphins, the Hard Rock Stadium. It is the #1 fundraiser in the NFL, and it includes different races, ranging from a 13-mile to a 99-mile bike ride and a 5K run. Many of the participants have been impacted by cancer personally.
We came to support because my grandfather had leukemia and suffered from that. We wanted to ride for cancer research, and so we can continue to...
We've had several family members pass away because of cancer.
Yes. So we came as a family, right?
The phrase "one team, one fight" can be seen in many places around the event, and this is a phrase that clearly means a lot to the participants.
It means that we're all in this together, and we're all one big family. So we're here fighting for our family and each other. I've had cancer touch me close, my wife and my sister, so I'm doing it for them, and for all those who can't fight, I'm here fighting for you.
Since its creation in 2010, the Dolphins Challenge Cancer Initiative has raised more than $64 million to support cancer research and awareness and bring hope for a better future.
If we all pool our money and our resources and keep the research going, then we can all be one fight against cancer. That's what it means to us.
And we can beat it too, we can beat it.
Yes.
Jaden Cohey, UMTV.
Thank you very much, JJ. Now with track and field, golf, and tennis all ramping up for the spring, we need all the updates we can get. Luckily, our O Sports Roundup crew is here to give us all the details. Guys, take it away.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the O Sports Roundup.
I'm Ashley Friedland.
And I'm Giovanni Alonso. Now, Ashley, we'll get started right away. I've heard there's a lot going on in golf.
Absolutely. Golfer Sarah Byrne was just named ACC Golfer of the Month, making this her second time this season and the first time in Canes history that a golfer was named this twice in a row, twice in one season. She's placed in the top 5 2 times this season, and she's also helped the team place 3rd at the UCF Challenge that kicked off this season, the spring semester. Gio, what's happening on the courts?
Well, Ashley, we talked about it last week. It was a big week for men's and women's tennis. Let's start with the women. 2 straight top 15 matchups to begin ACC play. They defeated number 15 Duke in what a strong showing. They got off to an early start in doubles play, but then they fell against number 5 UNC 4-3. It was a valiant effort from the women. They put up a lot of great stuff. It's a lot of stuff to look forward to if you're a fan of Miami women's tennis. Moving over to the men, we talked about it last week. They got off to a fast start, dropped 1 game, but won 2 in this past week. It's been a busy time. The men have a lot to look forward to. They're 8-3 on the season. Just a lot of momentum to keep building on. Now, Ashley, I've heard there's big news in indoor track and field. What's going on over there?
Absolutely. 3 runners just qualified for the 2024 Indoor Track and Field National Championships up in Boston, Massachusetts. This tournament kicks off March 7th and goes until March 9th. Also, on our men's and women's swim and dive team, we had some winners take home gold and bronze medals. Congratulations to those teams. Well, that's all the time we have for you today. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, guys. It's not every day that a track star is also a black belt, but here at the U, one athlete is not only a track runner, but also a former junior Olympic martial artist. Taryn Jacobs has the story.
In 2023, University of Miami track runner Natalie Varela set the program record in the 1,500-meter run with a time of 4 minutes and 20 seconds. But track was not Natalie's first sports love.
So I actually got into martial arts. I was leaving dance practice at a local middle school, and I saw people fighting on mats, and I went up to my dad. I'm like, hey, I want to do that.
I basically go by what she wants to do. Natalie's won 3 national championships in 3 different sports, and it's because I let her do what she likes, not force her into anything special.
Natalie began her sporting career at the age of 5. And when she was 9 years old, she won gold at the Judo Junior Olympics and a national championship in jiu-jitsu.
Well, winning the Junior Olympics was honestly one of the proudest moments of my life. Even though I was younger, I represented the U.S. on a Junior Olympic team. When I was little, I didn't really understand how big of a win that was. For me, it was just another win. But now that I'm older, it feels awesome.
Those wins, along with her regimented training routine, allowed her to build both her physical and mental strength.
Physically, I feel like I can take a lot because the practice when I was younger was so hard, so difficult for being so young. And also the mental aspect, I feel like doing martial arts, it made me very mentally tough. I feel like I can do anything, especially on the track and in life. I think if I put my mind to something, I can do it.
She does a great job of pushing herself to a very, very high level, more so than most people I've, worked with in the past. She does a nice job of not limiting herself, even to what I'm asking of the workout sometimes.
And even on her toughest days, Natalie has always been inspired to persevere.
Natalie's probably the most tenacious and most mentally tough person that I've ever met. I mean, she definitely likes to win, and she goes out of her way to be there.
Natalie plans to go back to her former club this summer, but for now, she'll focus on finishing out her senior track season at the University of Miami. Taryn Jacobs, UMTV.
Thank you very much, Taryn. Still ahead on Sports Desk, the Miami Maniac isn't the only mascot making an appearance at the Light this year. Stay tuned to Sports Desk to find out more.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
I said I'm fine.
Since I was little, it was only like me and my parents.
You think you created family out of characters?
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna take that and make it into a song.
Put me to bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. and we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. Where you at on the way, yeah. In my head, in my head, in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Pop.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Tonight, the Ring Theater will be filled with students to watch the theater arts production of The Wolves. This play is unique in several ways, whether it be the physical challenges that come with the territory or breaking the glass ceilings in the midst of it. One thing for certain, this cast has one goal in mind, and I got the chance to learn all about it. An empty theater, the seats waiting to be filled and the lights ready to come up to present soccer? The first thing the audience will see is the neon green turf and 9 girls in jerseys and cleats. Let's just say, this isn't your ordinary night at the theater. The Wolves is an all-female casted play. The story focuses on an all-girls high school soccer team and examines the challenges that girls face, from the competitiveness of the sport to the friendships that make the high school experience a unique one. That's something each of these girls is familiar with.
It's funny because it's almost like when we stop and we take a break that we are our characters. We're having those conversations that they have in the play while we're passing soccer balls. It's been very magical.
For most soccer players, they train their entire lives protecting their skills. But for these 9 women, they only had 2 months to make their tricks flawless.
It really was, for many of them, the first time since they were 6 years old that they kicked a soccer ball. And the bravery with which they have come at it, learning a totally new skill set, has been incredible.
This process has been special in countless ways, and the girls have enjoyed every second of it.
I think it's so fun, like, to get to do this and to get to kind of like learn something new, and that's like very different from the theater and other things that I usually do. We've all just been, you know, like hyping each other up, practicing, learning, trying, if someone like gets a new trick, like we're always like there and excited for each other.
From the stage to the pitch, these girls continue to show their dedication to their craft. But their hard work often goes unrecognized. One of the main goals of the Wolves is to change that very idea.
These women are killers. They're like, what they are doing, the amount they train, the amount they work, they're stunning. And we as a society do not value women the way we value men. And the only people I think that can change that are women.
For UMTV, I'm Olivia Howell.
Thanks, Liv. In Cleveland, it was a former member of the Miami Heat who made one of the craziest shots you'll ever see. Let's take you to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse for this week's Play of the Day. Here we go in Cleveland. Cavs down by 1, 119-118. Max Strus to inbound to Isaiah Mobley. Back to Strus for the win. Oh, he got it. What a shot. A 3/4 court heave as he is mobbed by his teammates in the midst of one of the most chaotic celebrations you'll see. Let's take another look. 58.6 feet. Splash! Nothing but net from Strus. The former Miami Heat makes the second longest game winner in NBA history, and look at the reaction of his teammates. That says it all. What a shot for your Play of the Day.
There's been plenty of familiar faces at Mark Light Field in 2024. Of course, you have the Mark Light milkshakes and the Miami Maniac, but there's one character who's been seen at Canes games who's unfamiliar. All right, everything looks normal here. The pitch is Who is that in the background? It's Cookie Monster? What is Cookie Monster doing at Mark Light Field? He's sitting with the fans. He's in the same spot at every game, right behind home plate. What? I have never seen something like this, Mike. He's besties with the Maniac now. I mean, what in the world? He's a dedicated fan. I'm sure he's enjoying his milkshakes. What do you think his favorite flavor is?
I would have to go with the cookie dough flavor, the sugar canes, because cookies are for me. But in this case, it's canes are for me for Cookie Monster.
Or milkshakes are for me.
Very true.
But unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week's episode of Sports Desk. Thank you for joining us.
But don't fret, because we'll be back right here next week. Same time, same place. Have a great night.